Oh, no main series this year. 2020. Okay. I mean, they're probably going to release it early 2025. When they announced Legends Arceus, it was that was coming out early 2022. So honestly, I am fine not getting anything new this year. Because like if it's going to be a case of they need more time, then sure. Yeah, but what am I going to play this year? I don't know. There's other games. We'll replay. Like you can replay. I mean, heck, you can replay X and Y. I've been replaying X and Y lately. It's actually good. Yeah, I mean, we could get. I mean, what are you going to play this year? I don't know, like Pokemon Unite, maybe? The other games they showed? Or something that isn't Pokemon, if these things aren't your fancy. Yeah, I prefer they take longer to make good games than release, like, schlock every year. Yeah, I'm excited for what we are going to get. And I'd rather get something that they've spent more time on to be more polished than something that, you know, is rushed. A lot of people have complained that Scarlet and Violet were unfinished. I don't agree with these people. I don't agree with these people. But it does definitely feel a bit rushed, and you can tell in places. It's still a good game. I still enjoy it. I do enjoy other things more. So that does mean Megas are coming back finally. People wanted Megas to return before Megas were introduced, probably. Like it was. Honestly, yeah. I'm not really. I don't really feel that married to the concept of Mega Evolutions. I don't really care, but people do, and I'm happy for them. But it kind of does make sense given that Paldea, in theory, would border Kalos. Doesn't it? Like it does, doesn't it? Because let's be real, that area that we can't explore in Paldea is probably Kalos, and Kalos does need a bit more love, and I feel like a Legends game isn't going to necessarily fix the issues people have with X and Y. Doing an enhanced version, either like at this point it would probably have to be a remake because it's been so long. We could get more Megas, we may not. If we're going down the Legends route, I think, because Unova, there's only really one logical thing you can do. Same thing with Kalos, but with Kalos, it feels like the thing that it's like, it makes sense to sort of go down that route. People say, oh, do a Legends of this, do a Legends of that, but like, people tend to forget when they want to make a Legends what the story could be. And like saying, oh, let's do a Legends Johto, what's the plot going to be then? Tell me what the plot's going to be, because although Johto has a lot of lore, people just tend to think, oh, Johto or Unova, despite not really considering what the plot could be. Starter Megas, we very well could. I think we're probably going to get Megas of the starters that we will get, because I would assume they would do the same formula of, we're not going to pick from the Kalos starters, we're probably going to pick from different regions. Yeah, because they've only really announced that, yeah, it's going to be a Kalos Legends game. I mean, it would make sense, and because, like, of the sort of Lumiose Tower, that's giving off AZ vibes, so I think that's what the plot's going to be about. I think the plot will likely be something to do with that. I'm thinking Piplup, Scorbunny, and Snivy. I mean, that's what an Artist Estrella was doing for his Legends based around Kalos. I definitely don't think this means they've skipped over Unova. Why did they add an A at the end of the trailer? AZ, the character from Kalos. I don't think it's called Pokemon Legends Z or Pokemon Legends AZ. I'm just going to double check what it's called. Oh, Pokemon Legends Z-A. My thought is that it's to do with AZ. He was the character who built the ultimate weapon because his Floette died, and he wanted to bring his Floette back to life. Now, the ultimate weapon, his Floette died because of a great war in Kalos. So he built the ultimate weapon to suck the life force out of everyone in the war, just so it could revive his Floette. However, his Floette abandoned him as a result, because it didn't appreciate killing everyone for its life. So 3,000 years later, Lysander wants to use the ultimate weapon. He is stopped. And then at the end, after all is said and done, AZ congratulates you on like stopping it from being used again, and his Floette reunites with him. They are friends again. What if they bring back all of the Pokemon because of AZ? No, I don't see them doing that. I understand what you're thinking, but I honestly think it's more tied with AZ, especially because like the letters A and Z, because of the character AZ, and because it's in Kalos, because he was a character in X and Y. The end to the beginning, maybe, because like it's the ending of the war to the beginning of the modern Pokemon world. I don't know. I mean, I guess it's them building Lumio City. I don't know if it will actually tie with them because it looks a bit too modern to be like 3,000 years ago. What if we play as AZ catching Pokemon to fuel the ultimate weapon? I mean, maybe, but like, it looks a bit contemporary. It looks a very like modern world, or at least like 20th century. Because like, I mean, I don't know if you've noticed, but the Eiffel Tower hasn't been around for 3,000 years, so I doubt the Lumiose Tower, which is a much more technologically advanced building, that just so happens to look like the Eiffel Tower, I don't think that's 3,000 years old either. As the names of the games are X, Y, now Z, maybe A is to signify us going back to the beginning and learning about the history in the beginning of the Kalos region, transporting us back in time, a reset. Perhaps. I do think we're going to learn more about the Kalos region, and the origins of it, and the origins of Mega Evolution, and just more in general about that. But at the same time, I don't think we're actually going to go back and be AZ. I think he may be a prominent character, but I don't think... I get the feeling they want to do their own thing with the story, but involve those elements further. Because... I'm only looking at context clues, because it looks like they're building Lumio City, and it's a modern-looking city. So I don't think it's going to be set during the Pokemon War. Of 3,000 years ago. What if we build the city like in Animal Crossing? I mean, we could. I mean, I guess the whole point of Legends Arceus was that they were settling. They were settlers. They were colonialists, charting the region, charting the Hisui region to build it, which would then become the Sinnoh region that we know today. I think I would assume Kalos already kind of exists. I would assume that, like, the Kalos region is already a thing, but perhaps Lumio City, or at least Lumio City as we know it today, isn't a thing. And that's what they're going to be building, and that's just gonna... That would probably be... Like, the development of the city would be probably how the process is marked. Kind of like how the development of Jubilife Village was how progress was marked in Legends Arceus. Zygarde and terrestrialization must have a bigger connection now. I don't see why. They never mentioned terrestrialization in the trailer, but they could. They could. But it's more like Megas were teased at the end of the trailer because of the Mega Evolution symbol. We play as Napoleon. I don't think this is set during the Napoleonic Wars, but it could be. Maybe Zygarde had a counterpart starting with A. It could. But I honestly see this being like probably like 100% Zygarde's game. I think we're probably going to get a lot more emphasis on Zygarde because we didn't really get that, and that's what the plans were originally going to be. So I think the plans that they were going to have towards the end of Gen 6, they tried to reconstitute that in Gen 7 quite messily. So maybe a lot of the plans that were specifically tied to Kalos are going to be repurposed for this game. Because they had plans. The Gen 6 anime had 3 seasons. Pokemon the Series XY, Pokemon I can't remember what the second season was called, but the third season was Pokemon the Series XYZ. And there was that focus on Zygarde in Kalos. But the thing is, they were planning for potentially more Kalos content, but that for some reason got cancelled to sort of, I guess, pave the way for Sun and Moon, and then the Ultra games, and yeah. Maybe the Nobles will be Megas. That would be pretty cool. If they don't do that, I think that would be a missed opportunity, unless they do something much more creative. Maybe they'll find Megas in the story and have to stabilize it for use. Maybe. I think I could see them expanding Megas as a concept, but I can also see them not doing that. We'll see. We'll see. It just kind of feels a bit weird that they were like doing all that Johto music, only for there not to be any Johto. It feels like they were setting us up to expect Johto, but then we get Kalos. I mean, I suppose all of the, I mean, it's not like the Johto stuff was there for no reason. It is Gold and Silver's 25th anniversary, because it released in 1999 in Japan. It's 25 years later. We are in 2024. So, of course, they're going to be celebrating that softly. But, yeah, if it were me, I think it would be the smartest business move to do Johto, but this feels a lot more creative. This feels like they wanted to do this and they decided we're going to do this. Because X and Y recently celebrated their 10th birthday, so yeah. Maybe the Colossean new Pokemon will have Megas, but since they got extinct in Kalos, maybe. I could see there being stuff like, I don't know, like a Mega Florges, for example. Or Mega... Furfrou. We're getting Furfrou on the Switch. That's the biggest thing. We're getting Furfrou on the Switch. We get set back in time to stop the ultimate weapon, but we're actually helping AZ gathering the Megas. That's why. I mean, that's why Lumio City is actually based for the ultimate weapon. But the ultimate weapon was based in. I can't remember the town, but it wasn't based in Lumio City. It kind of goes against the actual lore, and plus, why would something 3,000 years ago look that modern? Is what I'm thinking. You know, like Mega Colossean Tinkaton. Oh, that would be a bit complicated. I can see them do it. I can see them doing it, but I don't. I think it would be a bit weird just to have like a Mega Colossean Tinkaton, but no Mega like Florges or no Mega just I don't know Toxicroak. You know what I mean? So I don't know. Time paradox, like in Paldea, we could see paradoxes. What you suggested didn't seem purposefully like it's in Lumio City instead. That just seems like not continuity. But why wouldn't they use Mega Florges in X and Y then? Did they lose the crystals? Maybe. I'm sure if they're going to introduce new Megas, there would be a reason why they wouldn't exist in modern day Kalos, because like it's like saying, oh, why isn't there Hisuian Arcanine in modern day Sinnoh? Like, why isn't there Hisuian why isn't there Hisuian Sneasel? Why isn't Sneasler if you can get Sneasel? You know what I mean? Why does Weavile exist? I'm trying to complete the Safari Pokedex in X and Y. Good luck. Only have a few weeks left until online services shut down to do so. There might be ways to sort of like mod your 3DS to like have online features. I don't know. I assume like certain online features would still work because Bank will still work. Since the Hisuians get extinct later, well, maybe the Megastones went extinct. I don't know. I'm not making the game. I would love to know more information, but it's so annoying. I just want to know what our starters are going to be. That's all I am asking, Game Freak. If they have a Unova starter, I'm picking that. Because I have Unova bias. I remember when they announced Legends Arceus, they just showed the starters, and I'm like, so, Rowlet, my second favorite starter. Oshawott, my favorite starter. I am eating good, so I don't know what they're going to do to make me hyped about the starter choices this time around. Hisuian, Quillfish, and Basculegion are in the DLC. You mean the Paldea DLC? Yeah. But, like, why aren't they in Sinnoh? Oshawott is best boy, I do agree, Trash Inc. Well, they do a bad starter trio. I don't see why they would do a bad starter trio, because every single starter is good. Tepig, Poplio, and Chikorita. I'd be happy with that. I'd pick Tepig if that were the case. But, like, Tepig and Poplio, they're base. I love them. And Chikorita, well, I love Meganium. Like, all three of those have really baller final evolutions, and if they do variants of them, they would look even more baller, or even megas of them. That would be so cool. Chikorita, Tepig, and Poplio would be the most hated trio. Well, if you honestly hate those little goobers, actually touch grass, because, like, what is there to hate about them? Like, I'm not that fond of Chikorita's design, but a lot of people are, and I am kind of warming to it. like all three are pretty cute and they evolve into pretty cool mon. I mean, people are already hating this because hey, stop making buggy games, but you have to make them every year. You have to do this impossible task. Like, if people are already doing that, if people are already hating on this because it's not releasing this year, and they're already hating on this because it's not Unova and because it's not Johto, they really just need to touch grass. Like, they're just hated by most of the fans. Yeah, they need to touch grass because like they're good mon. I like them. I'm planning on using Poplio in an Alola playthrough when I next play through Alola, and like, I mean, the only reason I wouldn't use Chikorita is because grass is just not good in Johto, and the only reason I wouldn't use Tepig in a Unova playthrough is because Oshawott is also an option, and I am picking Oshawott. Snivy has that too, but is also not optimal for a Unova playthrough. So, like, if Snivy is an option here, I'd pick it, and I'd probably love it, because Serperior is so cool. Like, I mean, have you looked at Serperior? It's, like, one of the, like, coolest mon. Yeah. It's got this air of coolness, and there's a reason you can take photos of it in, like, new Pokemon Snap. What if non-starters were starters just in the past? I don't see why they would do that, like, mechanically speaking. Well, first of all, from a marketing point of view, it's a bit of an odd choice. It's a gimmicky choice as well, that you could only make work under specific circumstances, and quite honestly, I don't think the entirety of the 1025 Pokemon that exist, I genuinely do not think that any of them could realistically work as starter Pokemon other than the starters. Like, I know MNJTV tried to make best fit cases, but sometimes it just, I don't think it's going to work. I don't think it would work. I don't think it would work at all. I do want to see regional variants. I mean, obviously, like, I would want the main focus to be the story, but like, I would want to see regional variants. Because I like regional variants. They're funky, they're cool, they're neato. Like, I like them. Maybe a non-grass, fire, water trio. You see, that's what I'm meaning, Toretta. Because, like, that, when I say none, I mean absolutely none, regardless of what trio you think of. Swaddle, Magmi, whatever Magmi is, and Spiel. I assume you mean Spiel. And for Magmi, I assume you mean Magby, but, like, they've got very different base stat totals. They evolve very differently. You'd have to change how they evolve, fundamentally. Like, Spiel, I think, could work. It's just level up. But, like, you have to wait a long time to evolve Spiel. Leavanny requires friendship, and Magmortar requires a trait, and you have to wait a long time to even evolve Magby. So I don't think they work. Terrible at spell. That's okay. I think I got your point, but like, I don't think they would work because, like, they just fundamentally, I just don't think they would work. That's all. Because it's like, oh yeah, starter Pokemon, they usually evolve at level 15. Let's wait until past level 30. No, I don't think they would do that. I don't think they would have a friendship. Steel Chikorita, Ground Tepig, and Ice Poplio. I don't see them doing those, but I could see, like, a Steel type Meganium, like Grass Steel Meganium, Fire Ground Ember, Water Ice Primarina. I can see that happening. I just can't see the others happening. Right, I am going to go. It's been nearly an hour. I said to myself, do you know what? I'm not going to be streaming for any longer than an hour. It's nearly an hour. So that'll be me. What about Fighting Flying Rock, Lycan Cronio? I mean, I could see those as secondary types as well, but I don't see a trio made up of existing Pokemon to do that. That's why Cronio has their own. That's why Cronio has new ones. But anyway, bye-bye, everyone!